Setter, the Chief Enlightenment Officer of Conscious Public Accountants and proud member of the CalCPA, here to deliver success tips to help you pass the CPA exam. Studying for the CPA exam is like having a part-time job. And if you already have a full-time job and/or commitments at home, it is going to be imperative that you learn how to establish healthy boundaries. I'm going to share with you some of the tips and tricks that we share with CPA exam candidates who go through our coaching experience at Conscious Public Accountants. Now, first off, let's take a look at what does it look like when you don't have healthy boundaries. Here's some clues that you don't have effective boundaries in place. It looks like you're always saying yes to work, you're overly available to take on extra responsibilities, you're chronically working late, you're feeling pressured to work through breaks, you're putting others' needs before your own, and you start feeling burnt out, anxious, and irritable. If any of these apply and/or many, that's an indication that your boundaries could use some work. Now let's talk about how to establish more healthy boundaries. You want to communicate clearly. If you're expecting people to abide by your workplace boundaries, it's a challenge if you aren't comfortable with direct communication. And communicating clearly is not just being direct about where your lines are drawn, but it also might be having conversation to ensure there's full understanding. So for you, it might sound like, I'm committed to becoming a licensed CPA. This will require me to study approximately 450 hours in addition to whatever the additional stuff is you're doing. And then how do we go in on this together? This is really important at work and somewhere that I see people have an opportunity to improve, because you're saying, I have a long-term commitment to my work in the profession, but I need a short-term accommodation in order to make it all happen. Then you need to get specific about what you need, right? Here's an example. You want to say something like, I would like to take financial before the end of the year. Can you help me to reach my goal by? And at work, you might say something like, working with me on the clients I'm staffed on in mid-November to year end. Get really specific about what's going on and your specific requests of how you need support. And at home, get specific as well. It might sound something like, can you cook dinners for me the nights when I'm going to study? Because I just don't have the time or the energy. What will that look like for you? Now, it's always helpful to have in your back pocket some really good ways and kind ways to decline, because you're going to be invited to things that you need to say no to in order to say yes to your exam plans and studies. So this could sound something like, unfortunately, I need to pass on this. Or I'm sorry, my friend, but I'm not able to. Can we do this dinner after my exam, say maybe in late December? Or sadly, I can't, right? The power of no. It's just two letters, and it can feel like really hard to say it, even complicated. But when you're saying no to the short-term request, you're really saying yes to the longer-term commitment of passing the exam. Healthy boundaries are going to look differently. They're going to look like clear communication. They're going to be based on mutual respect and understanding. They're going to prevent burnout, and they're going to make you so much more productive in the long run. The good news is you can learn to set boundaries without being confrontational, and you can reinforce those boundaries subtly and mindfully. Thank you. And on behalf of CalCPA, we wish you all the best with your studies.